Hello, and welcome to the R&B Bistro Up Close and Personal. I'm your host, Venus, here to take you through this musical dance we call life. And to do that, you know I bring people in the community to come and give us some information to help us make it through. Today is a real special day. As you can see, I don't have my normal setup. All right, we are live on Facebook. That's the first thing. But we're introducing a new segment today called the Bistro Financial Spotlight. And I have my financial guru in the house with me. He was here last year twice and gave us some great financial information. So he's back. And we're going to do this quarterly to bring you all the information you need to bring your finances up to speed. So let me bring him in right now. Sylvester Knox.
Yes. Well,
hey.
Hello. How are you?
I'm so glad you are here.
Yes, it's great to be here.
And that you're going to be the financial guru of the R&B Bistro.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Yes. So now, just in case they have not met you before and don't know why you qualify to be the financial guru, just give me a background of your history in finance.
Well, I started my career in the financial world with First Fidelity, believe it or not. And from there, went on to Merrill Lynch for roughly almost 20 years and started my own practice about 6 years ago. So I'm very excited about the opportunity. And I've now been in the business over 32 years and look forward to helping those folks who need my guidance and support.
Yeah, so I'm one of those people that need his guidance and support. So, I had to call him in. He's not only my financial guru, he's actually a friend I went to college with and helped me get through classes like statistics. He helped me then, but I don't remember nothing now. But anyway, it's a good thing I don't have to deal with that. So what's the name of your company, just in case you don't know that?
The name of my company is the Knox Group Global Wealth Management.
Okay.
And you can certainly reach me at sylvesterknox.com.
Right. And he's got such a great following. I'm glad we're doing this Facebook Live. But when I put out the little notices that I got, people started sending him messages and calling him saying, hey, I see you're going to be on Facebook, so you don't be playing on Facebook anymore.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's exciting to see people recognizing that I'm on there, and certainly I look forward to doing more of it.
Yeah. All right. So let's get down to business. Can we get down to business?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So I got a couple of things that, you told me were good to talk about. So let's start out with what is 2.0?
Okay, 2.0 is
It's not find a better husband or wife.
No,
better version. It's not that?
No,
That's nothing to do with finance?
No,
okay, go ahead.
No. It purely enhances what we already have. So
what we have what?
It enhances our retirement options,
okay,
right?
So it's retirement.
So retirement. So right now, as an American and you have a retirement account, after you hit the age of 72 years of age, you must start taking mandatory distributions. And from that, the Congress has decided that we're going to push that age back so you have more time to save and more time to decide when you want to take that distribution. So now we're going to 73, right? So for 2023, 73 years of age. Then another 10 years, we're going to be at 75. So the goal here is to really give the Americans the opportunity that they can delay those RMD distributions, which create taxable events. And so it's a great opportunity for people to save more and give them more opportunity.
Well, I'm going to come back to that save more thing in a second, but I kind of don't like that. So let me put it in my layman's terms for the people that can't follow what this financial man said. Okay, he understands it a little better. So there are people who can't wait until 72, 65, 66 or whatever to take their retirement. Kind of like me. I'm 60. I ain't telling you how old I am. I'm 60 something, but I had to take my Social Security early because I wasn't working.
Yes.
So I took it early. So that was, and you get less money when you take it early, right? Got that straight.
Correct.
But if they push it back to the top age being 74, those people who were waiting until they're 72, now they can't take it. They got to wait till they're 74.
See, that's the required minimum distribution. You can always take a distribution. This has nothing to do with Social Security now. Social Security has its own timeline.
See, so I was confused.
Social Security,
okay,
you still can do 62, and you can do your retirement age 66, whatever it is, 67, or you can even go all the way to 70, and you'll get a little quarter of amount bumps in your payment.
Okay.
So so I don't want to confuse the two. This is specific to IRAs 401ks, and pension plans.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I gave out some misinformation, so whoever I said that to, I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on. All right, so I guess that's clear. That's clear. It has nothing to do with Social Security.
Nothing at all.
Well, good, because that would be really scary for people who were waiting to get to 72. And then they're going to switch to 74. Okay, let's go back to the savings of it. But then again, you said you're talking about IRAs, 401ks, and all that. So, but let me ask this: when your money is in the Social Security account, it's not gaining any interest or anything like that, right?
That is correct.
Nothing. Okay. So let's say whatever you just said, suppose you don't have no 401k or IRA, and so you want to take your money. If you take your money from Social Security at 70, but you don't really need it, and bank it. So you get interest.
That's right.
That's better than just leaving it there because it's getting interest, correct?
Well, the thing is, Social Security is a payout system.
Right.
So it's not even going to give you a lump sum.
Right. It's going to give you monthly.
So it's going to give you monthly.
Right.
So that monthly, you can do whatever you like with it.
Right.
Now, the goal here is to, and once you reach a certain retirement age, you want to use those funds to live, obviously.
Right.
So I don't think necessarily you want to be doing a total heavy investment with that money. That money is for your retirement specifically.
Right.
I wouldn't recommend you take Social Security. I'm going to go put it in the stock market.
No, but you could put it in a savings account.
Absolutely.
And it will get money as opposed to just sitting with them and they're getting money.
Well, it has to sit with them.
No, until you take it.
They're going to give it to you monthly.
That's fine. But I'm going to take that monthly, not me, but somebody. You could take that monthly and put it there if you didn't need it because you have other income. Because when you get 70, if you take it at 70, you can continue to work if you want to.
That is correct.
And make as much money as you want to, right?
Absolutely.
Right. But if you are not 70, you're capped at to how much you can make.
That is correct.
Yeah, that's so crazy. So crazy. Okay.
Or your full retirement age, basically.
Right. So full retirement age is 70.
Well, no, it could be 67. It can be 68.
Okay, so it's 68, 67, you get the same.
You were born.
All right. So 67, 68, you're getting the same money.
That's correct.
Okay. What about from 68 to 70?
You get a little more.
A teeny bit more. It ain't that much to make a difference.
20%.
I looked it up. All right. So, well, maybe we got that clear. I may have to revisit that because I was totally confused. I said, well, what is 2.0? Anyway,
but
all right.
One more point to add to that. What Congress has done is created a great system that will allow you, if for sake you had a parent that passed away, but no one knew they had a pension or not, you can go put in their Social Security number and find out if they have a pension in this country.
Whoa.
Or any retirement assets for that matter. So that is huge. They haven't put it up yet, but it's coming. So that is going to be a huge win.
As soon as it's going to come?
Well, sometime the first quarter.
Okay.
So that is going to be huge. And people who have lost loved ones and not know where all their finances are, you can put in the information and they can track based on taking distributions for Social Security, where those funds came from.
That's really good. And it brings me to a question that I want to ask, because I myself and a couple of the people I know, parents have passed away this past year. And so my question about that is, what should people do? Because Lisa Marie just passed away, Lisa Presley, and her family's fighting over the money.
That is correct.
So what should people do while their parents or whatever are living, or what should the people living do? Like Lisa Marie, what should she have done so that these people are not fighting over her finances?
Well, the first thing is you want to have a will. You want to have a will that dictates to the courts what you want to happen with your possessions. Then, depending on the size of the asset in that estate, we might even consider adding a trust to it. Okay. So we can direct the court to say, hey, this is the trust that's set up for eternity, that will allow my wishes to be carried out.
Okay.
So there are a lot of ways to protect those assets, but you certainly want to start with a will.
And I think a lot of people should do that because, especially our people.
Absolutely.
Because they just don't do it. They don't have any money for insurance. They don't have insurance. So they have no money to bury people. And they're looking for other people or the church or whatever to help them. And kind of crazy. All right. So let's move on into what are some of the investment challenges for 2022 that hopefully we won't have in 2023.
Well, we had inflation. That was the biggest issue, right? So you go to buy a car and say it was a $20,000 car. That car's now $25,000.
Yeah.
So that puts a little bit of a damper on people's resources to be able to afford items. You go to the supermarket. When did a pack of eggs cost $8? $8,
$9.
Yeah, that was unheard of. So I understand there's a bird flu out there and it's causing some ripples in the marketplace, but a lot of that's due to inflation. And inflation, anytime you come out of a system where we had COVID for 2 years, which certainly tightened our ability to get products and services. Now all of a sudden you open that up and there's like a run to get these products and services. Generally speaking, when there's not enough product and there's more demand, you're going to get inflation.
Well, I know one thing. I need to stop eating eggs because it's just like ridiculous. All right. So this is a question that I'm sure people who are at middle income or, certainly not at the top of the income bracket, or maybe even lower than that, poverty line or just above the poverty line. What are the first 3 steps or any of the first steps that you should do to build wealth?
Well, the first step is that you have to pay yourself first. I think too often we're worried about paying the credit card, paying the rent, and all those things are very important, but you must pay yourself that 10% first. And I'll put it at 10% because I think it's critical that you start to force yourself to know that 10% of that money goes into the bank account. From there, you start to accumulate that money in an interest-bearing savings account, which allows you to start to accumulate, understand how our banking system works. And from there, you just keep allocating, whether it's $100 a month, $50 a month. You'll be surprised over 5-10 years that money will grow quite substantially. And from there, you want to transition to a CD. From the CD, you want to transition to mutual funds and ETFs. And then when you get to a certain point, you're going to reach out to people like myself who are primarily going to give you even more insight and guidance to the financial markets.
So you wouldn't put it in a money market because that's going to tie you up, and if you need to get to it.
No. Money markets and savings accounts is cash.
Okay.
You're just getting interest on your money.
Okay. All right. So this is a very challenging situation. So let me go back to these people who have lower income.
Okay.
How much should they be trying to? You said 10%, but if 10% could be a lot for someone who doesn't have much money.
If you make $1,000 a week, that's $100.
Okay.
You must pay yourself first.
So put away $100 a week.
$100 a week.
At least.
At least. If you can do more, wonderful. But at minimum, $100.
Okay. All right. So now, is it more beneficial to have a Roth, an IRA, or a 401k? What's the difference?
Well, as obviously, we would want you to have all of them because you can have all of them. You can have a Roth, which grows tax-free.
Okay.
You can have a 401k, which your employer will help contribute to it, and you will contribute to it, which will help multiply and grow your asset in that 401k. And you can have an individual IRA that you may had years ago that you used to contribute to, and you got a tax deduction from. Now, generally, when you have the 401k, they won't give you the tax deduction on the IRA, but you can still contribute to it. So the goal here is really about saving for retirement. Because too often we're trying to figure out we're going to let the employer really handle our retirement, and that's not necessarily true. That's not their focus. They want to provide the vehicle, but it's your job to get help to find out how to invest it.
And if they give you a 401k and they give you a match, 6%, 5%, whatever, you should always take the top, whatever it is, right?
You never give up that match. It's critical for your long-term savings to get that match.
So let's go back to the Roth for a minute. If you had inheritance, should you put it in? Which one should you put it in?
Well, there's strict rules around inheritance. So it's not just easy to say, oh, I got this money, I'm going to put it in so-and-so. No, there's, first of all, the size of the amount could be inheritance tax, right? If it's a qualified account with a Roth, that is like just an IRA percent, but it doesn't have the tax features in it, you also have to there's a 5-year rule. So we don't know, was that person taking RMDs? Does, all those things come into consideration when considering an inherited IRA. Wow. You know what? I'm glad. Let's stop for a minute. Why did you get in this field? It's interesting because we both went to a fashion school. But the business side of the fashion school was phenomenal. And it taught me so much about how this world works as far as business goes. And I've always had a passion for numbers as a little boy. And so it just grew on me. And I just said, you know what? I guess me and my buddies were talking what we're going to do with our careers. Here we're 20 years old and we're just like, what are we going to do? And We all been saying to ourselves, we're going to go to Wall Street. We want to go.
All y'all were going to go to Wall Street?
And went down, interviewed, and got the job on the spot. Yeah.
So now, if you didn't do that since you were at a fashion school, what were you going to do?
Well, I was going to buy a business.
Well, you know. You're going to buy what kind of business?
I was going to buy something in retail.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to have a boutique.
Yeah.
That was after I didn't do what I did none of what I was supposed to do from that school. Well, marketing, I'm doing some marketing along with these businesses. So yeah, let's talk about the economy today.
Yes. Today is very interesting because we're at the tail end of a cycle where the Fed has been raising interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, when the Fed raises interest rates, markets retreat.
Mm-hmm.
But since the market and is always looking out 6 months ahead, the market so far this year has been rallying. So I will say for the people who lost money last year,
mm-hmm.
if you did not sell, you didn't lose any money. You just had a paper loss. So what a paper loss means that if you just hold a position, they'll come back. And so a lot of those stocks and equity holdings have come back quite substantially.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that given the fact that we're at the tail end of our interest rate cycle, I would be more in tune to stay invested and maybe even buy some technology that's very undervalued. It's dicey. It's scary, isn't it?
It's very scary. If you're like me and you see a loss of $3-5, you'd be Sylvester. What's going on? And then he'll say, V, don't touch it. Leave it alone. I'm like, you could say that, But anyway, it's a really scary situation. So then that brings us to, kind of what you just said. In this economy, you need to stay invested.
You must stay investment. Listen, you look at any 10-year period in the world of this economy, and the stock market has outperformed everything. So it's doing that for a reason, because it's basically rewarding growth, innovation, technology for those people who can produce that. And we as investors get to help and enjoy some of that growth with them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so that's what we want to do.
Now, I don't want to ask you a question about, tell us what we invested, because y'all need to go to him to find out what you invested. But you did mention technology.
Yes.
So I want to talk about that. So that should be one of the top things you should invest in. That should be one of the
top things, yes, the technology without a doubt, because I think it's been beaten down so badly last year.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, their profit margins are down a little bit,
mm-hmm.
but they're always innovating and always coming up with new ideas, new technologies. And so you want to take advantage of some. If I told you that you can buy a loaf of eggs for $2, would you buy it?
A loaf of eggs, a carton of eggs, yes.
Carton of eggs, okay, yes. A carton of eggs.
Bread's gone up too.
The bread's gone up too.
Mm-hmm.
So here, if I have some of the greatest technology companies in the world, and they're 50% less than what they used to be, wouldn't that be an opportunity to take advantage of that?
Yeah. I'm telling you, those $5 and $7, $8 eggs is kind of crazy. Anyway, what are your expectations for the investment community or stock right now?
I see that we will get to a point where we will have at least a 9 to 10% return this year.
Mm-hmm.
I know the market's been up pretty much for the beginning of the year, but we'll have our flows in and out. But for the most part, I think overall the market will be positive this year.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of things working in that favor.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is ending of interest rate hikes. The economy still grew at 2.9% last quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So that shows that people are spending money.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side of it is that jobs are plentiful. Yes, we've heard some of the technology companies downsizing 10,000 jobs here.
Yeah, so Amazon's getting ready to get rid of a slew of people.
But that's very sporadically. That's not throughout the whole country.
Okay.
So the thing is that there's still a glut of jobs that are available.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do we train our people to be able to fill those positions?
Okay. Oh, well, I don't know. I think the economy is a tricky thing. So I keep having to go back to the little guy because I'm one of the little guys.
Okay.
I keep going back to the little guys. So credit cards.
Yes.
Can you invest while you're in credit card debt? Should you invest while you're in credit card debt?
Okay. Number one rule, pay yourself first, that 10%. Then you would focus on your debt levels. So the credit card game is all about interest rates, right? So you want to pay the credit cards that have the highest interest rates first. Pay that down as fast as you can. So not only are you going to allow you to pay off the credit card, it's also going to boost your credit score, which will give you opportunities to get better lending rates. So, generally people sit around and have credit card interest rates of 24, 29%. But when your credit score is at a certain level, you can now go renegotiate and say, hey, I deserve 10%.
Yeah, so 12%. You can call them and say, reduce my whatever.
Or you'll look at some of the competitors and say, hey, they're offering 9.9. That's the card I want to go after. I'm going to get that card, and then I'm going to close this card.
So in your services, tell us the services that you offer.
Our services are very holistic. So we truly cover the whole gambit. We go through the debt process with you. We go through the growth process with you. And we go through what we call your life with you.
So in other words, we help people,
through
show them how to get out of debt?
All the way through the whole process.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we'll do an analysis of your debt, and we'll say, okay, let's focus on this one because this is one of the highest interest rates and it has the worst terms for you. And then once that's gone, and so we'll look at everything. Sometimes it's even better if you want to really impact your credit score to pay off the low-hanging fruit. So the small credit cards you have for 500, 600, pay them off because that looks good on a credit score.
Yeah.
That shows your debt, you're paying off your bills.
Yeah, and that you're responsible
and you're
debt.
responsible debt, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want you to tell them, we're going to get into some little fun things because it's Valentine's Day is coming up.
That's right.
And you're recently married, right?
Yes, I am.
How long? You better get it right.
It'll be 2 years.
Really that long?
Yes.
I didn't know it was that long.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's
just
good. That's
July
good.
16th.
So tell them how to get in touch with you because I want them to know that before we get into this Valentine's
First of all,
stuff.
you can. I'm local, so you can call my office at 973-218-2496. Or you can just email me, SylvesterKnox.com.
KNOX.
Yes.
.com. All right. So one more question about money, but as it pertains to couples, since we're coming up on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So should couples have separate accounts, joint accounts, or both?
Both. Because the joint account is pooled together, both resources, to allow you to pay your monthly bills and whatever important in your household. Your individual accounts is kind of like, hey, okay, I put my capital to the joint account. Now when I have an individual account, it's for me, and I can
buy some shoes.
I can buy some shoes,
and you can't say nothing,
and nobody can say a word.
I posted a pair of shoes, the pair of shoes that I have on, which y'all can't see because I got the desk in front of me.
And they're quite fancy.
And they're fancy, right?
They're quite fancy.
Yeah. So go look on my page and you'll see my tiger shoes. Okay. So, I can't have anybody telling me about shoes. I remember my first marriage. Yes, I was married twice. I remember my first marriage where we were young and they asked my husband, how can we afford the apartment that we were living in? And he said, we're good if Venus don't buy no shoes. How dare he? Anyway. So now let's go into this relationship stuff. I got to tell you. So I wrote this book.
Yes, it's a lovely book.
Which you told me that you read.
Yes.
And,
some time ago, but I read it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really good.
Really good. Absolutely. Outstanding. And if you haven't picked it up yet, you need to reach out to Venus.
Or go to Amazon. It's on Amazon. It's on Kobo. And it's on barnesandnobles.com. It's called Shades of Love. And it's 25 poems. People think that it's a novel. It's not a novel. It's 25 poems about relationships, the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, and everything in between.
Absolutely.
It's going to make you think. It's going to make you go, that happened to me. It may make you cry. It may make you smile. And I'm not telling you anymore. Get the book. Okay. But Sly. So right now, since Valentine's Day is coming, I hope you got some things planned.
Oh, I've got quite a few things planned.
Okay. All right. Now I might have to call her and see. So let me ask you this.
Yes.
What love song right now? Because the show started with music, since I came from radio, and the Bistro was a radio show at first. So I'm all into this music, everything. What love song right now would describe your relationship?
What love song? That's a good one. I'm going to say,
You listening?
I'm going to say
song?
it's a Luther song.
It's a Luther song.
Luther Vandross.
Okay.
And it's, I'm not sure of the title, but it is.
Tell me the words. I probably know the title.
Love won't make you wait.
Love won't make you wait. That's a Major Holly song. Major Harris song. Luther may have something that says that. Well, listen, mine is.
What's yours?
Just in case y'all don't know, mine is The Closer I Get to You.
Oh, that's wonderful. I like that.
That's a good one.
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
And it talks about we should stay friends, or we should, I'm telling myself we should still be friends. We should never be more than friends. But anyway, it's a beautiful song. And I just love songs. This book has a playlist of songs. It's not in here, but there's a playlist of songs. Remember that we played at the book signing? So good.
Yes.
And I know a friend of mine who wrote a book, and there are songs mentioned in her book.
Okay.
And she has a playlist attached, and she has like that little code that you scan to do, which I never did, right?
Okay.
And if you scan that code, you get her playlist.
You get a whole playlist.
I need to know how to do that. So you technology people out there, if you know how to tell me how to do that, our producers out there, if y'all know Mark and Devin, if y'all know how to do that, y'all need to tell me how to do that after the show. Listen, we're going to hang around. I can't see. So if there was Facebook Live questions, I can't see it. Sylvester can't see either. You don't even have his glasses on. So if there's some questions, we're going to hang around for a little while. And if not, if you are not watching and you see the Facebook Live later, then post the questions and we'll answer, okay? This has been the R&B Bistro Up Close and Personal. Thank you so much, Sylvester.
Thank
You'll be back in April, right?
April, yes.
You'll be back in April to tell us what to do then for our finances. So R&B Bistro Up Close and Personal, our new financial segment, which will be quarterly, the Bistro Financial Spotlight. Thank you for joining us today, tongue-tied. Thank you for joining us. Remember, it's never too late to live your dreams. And when you do, I'll be there encouraging you. Please follow me on all social. Follow Sylvester on the places he told you to follow him. And be sure to tell someone about the Bistro. Wait a minute. The Bistro is also a podcast. I keep forgetting to tell you all that. So stream us wherever you get your podcasts, all right? And this show will go live in about a week, but the podcast will be up sooner. Gotta run. Love you for watching. Bye.
Bye.
And I think it's because I'm not streaming correctly.
That's okay.
But that's something we'll learn.
Yeah, well, it was a little.
By the time we do it the next time, like you can see there, you can see we're still live, but I don't. With my Facebook here, I can't tell whether I put it on my page, and so if people were not watching their page, then they wouldn't see it. I can't even see the stream thing right now. So let me go here and do that. But that was really some good information. I'm telling you, I had that 2.1 wrong.
Oh, so you thought it was Social Security?
I thought it was Social Security. And I told somebody that, and they were like, I'm going to go get it checked up. Whatever. So, but also, this is going to stay streaming on their page. And you got your phone up?
Yeah.
So if you go to Facebook and you search Central New Jersey Network.
Okay.
So, up in that top hand corner on your Facebook page.
In here?
No.
On the
search, yeah.
Okay.
You still want it to be live?
Yeah, it still can be. I didn't see anything, maybe because I didn't share it to my page because I couldn't do it from here, but I just did it.
So Central what?
So Central New Jersey, CNJN. So I didn't see anything. So it could be because of the time. Huh?
I did.
You saw questions? No, I'm saying questions, yeah.
Just Central New Jersey?
Yeah, see here.
Okay.
Central New Jersey Network. So
should we?
I guess so, because I don't see anything. I mean, I saw a heart. Oh, that was you.
Yeah.
So I don't. I don't see anything.
Yeah, I see you there. Okay.
All right, you're not supposed to be there. I want you to go to CNJN.
That's where I went.
This here. Okay. All right. Oh, because it's gone. All right. And go down to